This episode contains discussions of trauma, violence, and difficult life experiences. Colorful language not excluded. Listener discretion is advised. I'm Elizabeth Porter. After 20 years working as a lawyer with families, abuse, and mental health, I'm done ignoring the patterns. It's time for hard conversations that build awareness, create compassion, and change lives. Welcome to Law and Porter. Who are you?
Child of divorce, court-ordered, and mentally disordered.
That is like truly defining for you, right?
I am who I am because of it. If you can, co-parent, learn how to. I know you're going to hate it. But yeah, life sucks. Get over it.
And this joint physical custody thing kind of like was an experiment. And the courts kind of just threw kids at it and was like, let's just see how this works. Okay, well, I told you I would give you a brief introduction. I will. So This is Haylie. Haylie started working in my law firm when she was 17. Late the first day that she was hired.
Yeah,
Didn't show up. Late.
I overslept. Yeah.
Okay, overslept. But she was a senior in high school and had it all together. Showed up, started. Well, you did have it all together. Comparatively for seniors in high school, you had it all together. I knew her parents. Or her dad and stepmom, and I made sure ahead of time that she was going to be able to handle all the things that go on in our law office and all the content, the yucky stuff we deal with, and she could. And so they were going to let her work in our law firm, and I've kind of gotten to watch Haylie, I won't say grow up, but 17 to almost 21, pretty formative years. And I think you have an interesting perspective on a lot of the practical stuff that I do as an attorney, but also really kind of what we're here and what we're trying to do with the podcast. So Haylie, 20 years old, but I want you to introduce and I want you to tell listeners not what you do, who are you?
Child of divorce, court-ordered, and mentally disordered.
Okay. You're not mentally disordered. Child of divorce. Like that, That is like truly defining for you, right?
I guess so. I am who I am because of it.
But when someone says, who are you? That's one of the first things that comes to your mind.
I mean, yeah, because, I wouldn't be as independent as I am without it. And you have to deal with a lot of crap. And so you learn to adapt with stuff shifting. And then you also, I kind of got a humor out of it because I'm like...
Oh, yeah. The ones who cope with their humor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
I think everybody else benefits from my humor, so I guess it's a good thing.
That's accurate. So how old were you when your parents divorced?
2014. I would have to say around the 7 to 9 range,
okay.
Like second, third grade.
So like separation. It's not like it's a line where it happened. So you got separation, divorce.
Because they were separated, back together, separated again when I was still in like primary school, so like first grade ish, and that bled into like second.
And you're the oldest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how many siblings?
2 full-blooded siblings. Okay.
So you're the oldest of 2 younger brothers, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so parents are separating, divorcing, ages 7 to 9. Mm-hmm. And what was the like custody structure, visitation structure from that point forward?
In the beginning, while stuff was still...
You nervous? Uh-huh. You'll slow that leg down?
Oh, I move it, whether I know it or not.
Okay, so what did that look like?
It changed throughout the divorce proceeding. In the beginning, it was, I don't know what you call it, like 2 days with one parent, 3 days. It was switching multiple times a week.
Yes.
To where everything was unstable.
Is that the way it felt to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so after that, 50-50.
Which the other was basically 50-50 also. But what was the 50-50 like when you said after it was 50-50? It was a week and a week?
Yeah, it was a week and a week after it was the changing multiple times.
And you were still in elementary school?
Yeah.
Okay. So they were both still local though, right?
Yeah, still local. And whenever we were doing that changing multiple times a week, we just like had a bag, like a duffel bag. We didn't have our own. I think Dad was at his parents' house and towards downtown. And then Mom was in marital at that point.
You said marital, so you've been working in a law firm. She was in the marital home.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Dad was staying with his parents.
Yeah.
So you feel like you were living out of a duffel bag?
Oh, we were. Like, we had our bags and we'd go from one parent to the other. But after that, I guess, once they figured out some more stuff with the courts and separating and putting everything where it needs to go, it went to that week and a week. And we, like, had stuff at Dad's. Like, I think Mom came out of the marital home, got her own place. Dad was in marital home. And so parents settled where they were going to be and where they were going to be at. And then we had our stuff there at his parents' house.
I love how you said your parents got to settle. You didn't get to settle though, did you? Okay. So at that point, even though like you had space at Dad's at that point for furniture, you had space at Mom's for furniture and clothes and all that, right? Did you still feel though like it wasn't your space at either place? Like, did you still feel that need kind of like for the duffel bag or for the items that felt like they were yours? I mean, look, I did not expect tears so early. I'm just that good.
Well, I don't talk about myself.
That's okay. Right. Okay. Well, that's okay. You got like the next few minutes to be selfish. You do talk about yourself. Do I need to remind you that you do talk about yourself? Okay. But this is the point. This is the point of the podcast, is to say, I mean, none of it, life is not supposed to be smooth. It's not supposed to be even. And that would be honestly quite boring. So we are who we are because of these experiences that built us that we didn't get to choose. But at a certain age, you do get to go back and kind of take it apart, deconstruct it, and determine like which pieces you want to use to build back up. And you are wise beyond your years. And so the benefit of your experiences, it did give you that. Maybe a little too early, but it did give you the benefit of wisdom. So, but now that you're able to look back and you see it like, you know, as an adult looking back at a child, you're not an adult yet. Almost an adult looking back at a child. What did it, I mean, I know that's the part that hurts, but like, how did it feel? I've never been through that. How did it feel?
It felt like you took a bouncy ball and bounced it. You know, just bounces.
It's like, makes me think of a pinball machine where it's like ding, 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 ding.
That.
You don't know kind of where you're going. Yeah. So you have to respond to everyone else. Like you don't get your own vote. You just get bounced around, right? Is that fair? Mm. Okay.
But to answer your earlier question, we did have our own rooms and stuff like that at the parents' house. And we did have our own clothes and stuff, like clothes at Dad's, clothes at Mom's. But it was still always changing. So I left out a duffel bag.
Yeah. And I think, you know,
because I wanted my stuff.
Yeah.
Came.
Right. I think that because sometimes your only stability is like the literal things you can put on your body, right? And I think sometimes we think of that in the context of foster children and how we're so sympathetic to they're not feeling that they have a sense of belonging, but we forget sometimes that in the court systems, even with custody, we're doing the same thing to children. And expecting them just to like adapt and adjust. Their kids, they're resilient. And this joint physical custody thing kind of like was an experiment. And the courts kind of just threw kids at it and was like, let's just see how this works. We're just now really getting to see with adults how this did impact them. So I think what you're saying makes total sense. And I think also too, you had younger brothers. In my parenting experience, brothers aren't always the most aware of what's going on. Did you kind of absorb that for them? Protect them from it?
Probably, because we're all 2 years apart. So if I was in the 7 to 9 range, Hayden could have been somewhere around the, I think, 5-4 range. Peyton was still in diapers.
Okay.
And so he was 2, 3.
Were you like maybe the peacemaker, like the comforter?
I mean, we've always bickered and fight. Like,
right.
We're not lovey siblings. We still banter back and forth and annoy the crap out of each other. And so, I don't really know.
Well, when there didn't feel like there was stability, did you feel the need to like make everything okay for everyone else? Or were you able to at that point just be like, this sucks for me?
I mean, yeah,
The reason I ask is because as I've seen you grow up, you take on a lot of responsibility for your siblings. You pick up, you drop off, and it's natural to you. You are a naturally responsible person, and I didn't know if it developed during that time of your life.
I don't really know because I don't remember specific things back then.
Gotcha.
Only certain things like that just stick out.
Yep.
So,
do you think that's normal?
Maybe?
Do you think that other people remember more of their childhoods?
I think it depends on the childhood and the person and what happened for it to stick out.
Okay.
Because I don't remember much of the divorce. I remember some of the custody changes, just like I think we would change when we had like the 2 days, 3 days in the Winn-Dixie parking lot. And then I guess we would just meet wherever or take one parent, take the kids to the other parent's house to do the week in a week. But there's just other little stuff that would stick out and everything else kind of blur together.
And I think, was there ever a time, and some of this stuff I'm kind of stepping into unknown territory, I don't know. Back then when it was all fresh, how were your parents co-parenting well?
Oh, they hated each other.
Were you aware that they hated each other? So what were the exchanges like?
From what I remember, the custody changes that I do remember, they were civil, but I just knew they didn't like each other.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. So it wasn't like, they weren't like throwing down in the parking lot. You just knew. It was a vibe. You felt it.
Like, I mean, they weren't together anymore, so I knew they didn't like each other.
Yeah. When they did decide to not be together anymore, did they have a conversation with y'all together? How did they handle that you recall?
I remember parents fighting in their bedroom, and then
look, I can't imagine how hard it is, but I'm so grateful because I really don't think that, as adults are just big kids. We don't realize the impact a lot of times of what we're doing that it has on our kids. Even as little as, an argument and how we might as parents can better handle those situations. So I really think it's helpful, and I appreciate your sharing it with us.
No, they would go in their bedroom and fight, and then I remember being pulled in, like, okay, which parent do you want to live with?
What'd you say?
Well,
neither.
You're a kid, so you don't, like, you love and hate your parents differently each day, each week. And so at that point, I was like, I just pointed at Dad, because like, you don't know what to do.
Right. Wow, what a horrible... children are not built for the weight of that decision. And the crazy thing is, like, your parents as adults... I
didn't know what I was deciding either.
But they, like, the adults didn't feel like they could handle the decision. And so then they're like, well, we'll put it on the 9-year-old. She'll figure it out. Yeah. What kind of crazy logic is that? So, and I know your parents, I'm not bashing them. I think, again, adults were just big kids. We don't always make the best choices. And I think in retrospect, that might not have been a good one. So you at the time said Dad. Dad was probably like the cooler parent.
Or he was on my good graces that day.
Yeah, so you just weren't mad at Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And
because you always have that parent that's like will make you do stuff, and the other one that just like, I don't know, do whatever. Like,
right.
And that changes depending on like the situation.
Right. And I think the goal too, like I think the goal for any child is that each person in their life gives something that works best as a whole. And that's not, can't work in every situation, but the grandparents offer, the ability to get away with anything and just love you unconditionally. Yeah. And the parents have the structure. And so it kind of all works better as a team. And the team was breaking up, you became a free agent and had to pick, and you picked Dad at the time. Mm-hmm. Which, like it mattered because the courts, I'm sure, determined it. It's not like you really got a choice.
Oh, they were separated at that point. So they had their fight. They're like, okay, done with this. And pick who took the kids or whatever, had the kids. I guess kind of like did their own like custody split.
Yeah.
Because I know they separated, got back together, separated again. I don't know which time that was. I think it was the figured like the second time.
Looking back, are you able to say at all, like, I really appreciated at least feeling like someone listened to me, or it was just too much? I'd have rather just been told what we were going to do.
Looking back, rather told. But at the time, I don't know. It kind of just, I don't really look back on it, try to find like a...
Right. You can't fix it.
Yeah.
You can't. I get that.
So, like, if you can't fix it, it is what it is.
It is. But I think as we look forward and think really that people are all so much alike, regardless of the things that shape us, I don't think anyone ever wants to be told what to do. So I think it's kind of natural as a parent to think that my child will feel better if they have a sense of control. But then there's a really fine line between then how putting too much on the child, and it's all trial and error. We none of us know what we're doing. So was there that like week and a week lasted? I mean, you're 20, so theoretically under Mississippi law, you're still doing a week and a week, right? And you still live. I mean, you kind of still go back in between mom and dad's, right? You're comfortable at either, I guess.
Yeah. Well, as we got old, they co-parent well now, and as we've gotten older, they've had less reason to communicate between them because we're older. We can make our own decisions. We know what's going on, and we can ask the other parent, like if it's something like, "Hey, mom, can I on this date can I go with that?" She's like, "I don't know your dad's. Ask your dad."
Right.
They don't have to directly communicate on some things, or it's less than when we were little.
Sure.
And so Hayden, he's just graduated high school. Peyton, he sophomore, driving age. So as we just gotten to that point where you want to go to dad's, cool, go to dad's. If you want to stay at mom's, cool.
Right.
Not really following it that much.
Did y'all follow it through your high school years?
Yes and no. It also, after my grandfather died, my mom moved from Purvis to Lumberton, and we did that home. So I was on weeks we did follow it pretty much in high school, but I don't think we carried it out through high school because
during high school they developed some flexibility.
Yeah, high school late. Yeah, I guess I'd say high school. Because at one point we were driving 45 minutes to school, and I'd take them to school when I was with mom. And I remember their summer when I was working and stuff. And here in Hattiesburg, I didn't go to mom's that entire summer. Like, I still talked to her, hanged out, did trips and stuff, but I didn't go over there every other week because I was burning a full tank of gas twice a week. Right. Okay. And so it didn't make sense to. And Peyton, he's more of a mama's boy. He likes having that one place stability. Yeah. And so he sometimes goes to dad, sometimes doesn't. I'm sure
even if that's not like if you were in the same home, that's kind of a natural thing too. And so they have at least at this point allowed that to develop and not fought. Kind of they haven't power struggled over which parent you could have a closer relationship with at this point, right?
Yeah, because being thrown around, you look for that stability of that one home.
Did either home ever feel that way?
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't really have anything to compare it to, do you?
No, you don't. And
The Office. We've been in this office a few years. It's the most stable place.
Yeah. Well, I guess, you don't have anything to compare it to. And so your idea of that is your back and forth. Right. If that made any sense. I forgot what you asked.
It makes perfect sense.
Okay, cool.
And I think it's almost like, I think it's interesting, though, that you have the ability to, I'm not going to say blame, but figure out what caused that feeling in you. It's almost like, do you constantly feel like you're in the air and can't land? Like there's not a solid foundation under you?
Probably at one point, but not for a while.
Okay.
Enough to pinpoint.
So does that come from, if you can't control your surroundings, you can't control where you have to be or where you feel comfortable, did that force you to to define and kind of lock in who you were going to be, regardless of where you were?
Well, yeah, you had to learn to adapt. I mean, everything's changing around you. Just go with the flow. I mean, if my dad, he's more structured. Like, your bedtime was at 8. We were going to be here at this time. This is planned for this day. You're out of the house by this time. Waiting at the bus. Stop this time. Where my mom was like, hey, y'all can sleep in a little bit. I didn't feel like getting up. Y'all can stay home.
That's funny because I see
today.
absolutely
Or,
both
hey,
of those in your personality now.
Yeah. And because, she would, one Saturday night, hey, you want to drive to the coast and go to Texas Roadhouse? Like, it's more spontaneous, less structured. And so you got one parent like that, one parent like that. I'm like, cool. If something happens, cool, it happens. If it doesn't happen, cool, it didn't happen. Move on.
Did you, though, crave the structure of Dad's house?
No.
Really?
I don't know. I was fine with either.
Gotcha. So at Dad's house, you were a structured person. At Mom's house, you were a spontaneous, adaptable person.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been able to merge those two?
I mean, I try to have structure.
Right.
Like, wake up on time.
Right.
Does it happen? No.
Yes, reference the first day of work when you didn't show up. Uh-huh.
That and this morning.
Okay. But you're also human, okay? So a lot of this is just, this is being human.
I try to have a routine, and I can stick with it for a little while, but it doesn't stick.
That's also human. But
Yeah.
I totally understand what
I try
you're
to
saying.
have a structure and do it. I think I like the structure.
You're really good at structure.
Or I want more structure.
Yeah.
But then, what's the point of structure when I can do whatever I want to do?
So on the outside looking in, what I think is interesting is that, to me, what you're describing is something that created a great well-roundedness, because you are reliable, dependable, structured, organized. Like, if I need something done on a system, like, you're my girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're not also fun. You're not also a little spontaneous and all those things. So what I see is someone who...
Is that spontaneous or immaturity?
You're 20, so probably both. But immaturity is not always bad either. No. I mean, if you have the other for balance. Mm-hmm. But I think that maybe for you, it still feels like a tug of war between the two. And on the outside looking in, it looks like balance, but I think internally it feels to you like you're still trying to get there to merging the two. Is that fair to say? I love but I think you're so wise to look back and say, this is what that was like, because a lot of times we just live through something and we just don't even want to look back at it. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of wonder why. It would be so much harder to wonder why you have that feeling versus being like, well, I know why I have the feeling. This is what it was like. And this is, then we got to figure out how to put the pieces together. But anyway, you have much more wisdom than you give yourself credit for. So you felt like you lived out of a suitcase. I know you mentioned talking about structure, unstructured. What do you think we talked a little bit about it, but right now you're kind of still, we're all figuring out who we are. So that's unfair to say, but what you want to do next, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that the way you grew up, bounced around is the word you've used a couple times, tossed around, I think you also said, has made it harder to figure out what you want next? Or has it impacted it at all?
I don't know. I think if anything, it's because I can do so much.
Well, darn. What a problem. I understand.
Yeah. And so, I thought I wanted to do law. No, I don't. Cool.
We have that impact on people.
Let's go find something else. What is something else that I want to do? And so, I don't know. I guess possibly the ability because you have to adapt. And so I guess that's just okay, I don't want to do that anymore. All right, let's adapt and find something else that we want to do.
Has that, though, I know you said that you feel like you lack consistency. Mm-hmm. Are you afraid of kind of picking a direction and then realizing it's not the right one?
No, because if I don't realize it's not the right one, I'll just stop.
Okay. Okay. And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. So right now you've taken like a hiatus from school, not working full time, like figuring out who Haylie is. Have you gone to therapy? Have you ever had like counseling therapy? Yes or no is fine. No judgment. You have.
Yeah.
As a child or an adult, or I say adult, adolescent.
Middle school, 6th grade, so probably around like 12, 13.
Okay. The parents decided it was a good idea?
I don't know how they decided it. Dad took us to like that Christian counseling place. To be honest, I think it's just because he had some free sessions with his job. He's like, and
he's like, Haylie, we're taking her.
I mean, like, if they're free, we screwed them up a little bit. Let's get them some therapy. And
again, wisdom.
Yeah, and they said I was better. Like
they said you were better.
Not better.
She's good.
Like, I was like seeing improvement.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that a positive experience for you as a child?
I mean, I feel like I'm in therapy now, so this is kind of how it went.
I have that again. That's so. Look, that comes from years of therapy. It's not for nothing. It's an investment in myself and in my future. Are you grateful you had the therapy? Like, did that help you at all during that time?
Well, if not at that time, because divorce was done with, and we'd been out of the divorce for.
That doesn't mean it's over.
Quite a few years.
You're still living it right now.
Compared to like divorce, everything breaking apart, we settled some.
They settled.
Yeah.
You were the fallout. So they settled. Yes, you had some consistency, the unroutine routine, but you still had to learn how to cope with constant change. Even though at the time, no one appreciates therapy at the time. You don't appreciate this conversation at the time. But as you've gotten older, was there anything from those counseling sessions that you were able to say that even if it was something, something someone said and 5 years later you were like, now that makes sense. Like, did that kind of take root in a way that helped you later?
I cannot tell you what she said because I don't remember it.
I understand.
But she thought I had depression.
She thought you had depression? Oh, no.
I mean, maybe
she was
not.
An expert.
I don't know. We went, started to fill out the forms. We're like, I can't remember why we didn't go through with it.
So you remember she thought you had depression. When you heard that word depression as a kid, what did that sound like to you?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It made you cry to say she said I had depression. Is that a bad thing? It's an overwhelming word, I think, as a kid.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Like,
is that when you developed that stellar sense of humor? You're like, I don't need medicine. Give me dad jokes.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been different around other people. Like, I am the way I am at home and the way I am with like friends and stuff, right. Like here.
Or on a broadcast podcast where people are going to learn you have human emotion.
Yeah.
I get it. Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe that, but, I don't know. But then also kind of recently, I guess, towards like high school and stuff, got to the point where I don't care. I am who I am. Sorry I say a cuss word. Sorry I have this sense of humor, or don't get why the heck you're doing that. Like, if you don't like it, leave. I mean, to kind of just stop being a different person around certain people.
Is that because you've actually accepted who you are, or is that a defense mechanism so that no one gets too close?
I don't know, Dr. Phil.
I prefer Barbara Walters, but okay.
Okay.
Because I think that also gives you that ability to say you've seen this, like the fun, the funny. I don't care what people think of me side, but not the like side that feels like you're still processing and healing. And I think what I wonder is like, do you realize all that's like okay? Like, and I think I didn't expect this to be like a really maybe this is the podcast we launch with. I don't know, but I think the goal of the podcast is that we all have something. Mm-hmm. And I am the type who is stressed out by a world where people act like they have it together. Like if you put me in a room with people who are going to pretend like they have it together, like I don't, like just don't. I don't want to be there. That is the most stressful thing for me because I want to, you know, knock them off their high horse and, you know, again, make them cry. Yeah. Like either punch them in the face or make them tell me their worst memory. But like that, the brokenness that we all have is kind of our superpower. Like that is what allows you to relate to other people. That is what makes you a helper. That is what makes you are, I mean, you're the type of person who's always said, like, you may not want your own children. You're the best babysitter. You are loving and compassionate and caring. I know. So your dad remarried and your stepmom, bonus mom, I don't know what you call her. You call her by her first name, but has a special needs son. I mean, you are the best. Your first tattoo was his thumbs up. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a part of you because you are a natural caretaker. So I think the part of like this podcast is to say that what I would want people to learn and why I love working with young people is you are not messed up. You are human. We're all a little banged up. If we're not banged up, we didn't do it right. Yeah. And we are all trying to, if we are doing it right, we're trying to figure out why we're the way we are. The truly messed up people are the ones who say, I am who I am. You know, no apologies. There's nothing for me to figure out. Take me or leave me. Whereas the people who are like doing the hard work of healing have to go back and say like, you know what? This sucked. This really, I mean, like this isn't like a bang or a bruise. This like broke me. And who do I want to be? Like what from this experience do I want to take and move forward? So you've developed these amazing coping mechanisms. I like to say that we all have certain arrows in our quiver, and some people have a lot of them. Some people have very few, and you've developed a lot of arrows, like skill set that you can use to get through hard situations. Did that happen naturally, or was there ever like a turning point when you said, okay, this is like a cognitive choice I'm making?
Probably naturally. I never, like everything, it's just blurred together. Like it happened.
It's survival, isn't it?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. It's what your body uses naturally when you're like, just like get me from here to there. Get me from A to B least painfully, and your body just picks survival. Is there any point at which you've been able to say like, I don't know, like give respect and honor for those skills it's given you, even if you don't really love how you got there?
I mean, yeah. I do because, I mean, I am who I am with them and they're useful.
But do you realize that's a good thing?
Yeah.
Not just who you are because you're all the bad things. Like, do you realize the beauty in who you are? Good.
Yeah.
Good. So you had this, I was going to ask this a different way, but let me ask you this. Let's say, I don't know who this audience is going to be. Mm-hmm. So let's say a judge who routinely just tosses out joint physical custody to families. If you could go back, and honestly, in some ways, because you kind of can. I mean, you kind of can deliver a message that says, this is what you need to be considering when you just joint physical custody these kids. Mm-hmm. And okay, so we're doing this in Mississippi. Joint physical here is approximately 50-50. It can look like just about anything, but approximately 50-50. So when judges do that, for whatever reason, what do you want them to know about that choice they're making? Or at least to consider?
consider stability. Because, 50-50, same amount of time with each parent, or, like a week and a week or whatever, like the same amount of time. But that amount of time can be longer. Just stability. Think about the kid, not the...
It's fair to the parents.
Yeah, screw the parents. I mean, they're the reason why we're in this. So think of the kid.
Absolutely. The parents are the ones who chose it, right?
Yeah, like each thing is different. If you're doing custody, they have kids. So think about the kid, not the parents. I mean, if they can't get along, they're not going to get along.
Right.
Deal with it later. They're not going to get along no matter what the heck you do.
And there's no perfect solution. So at that point, was there a better... a way for a judge to figure out what the better environment would have been?
I don't know if there's a way for them to figure out what a better environment was or is in anything, but to, like, cool, do 50-50 custody, but do it 2 weeks and 2 weeks. Yeah, one parent won't be able to see the kids for a minute. Maybe do like a play date or something or whatever in between that week, okay. But you have the kids in one place for. So
even the courts who were doing like 2 days and 3 days, that was worse. That was
stupid. Okay. Like stupid.
All right, and then a week and a week was hard.
Yeah.
So you think even longer stretches you could have done without one parent for a longer period of time to have that stability.
Yeah. Because it's a stability in one place. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It sucks that one parent's not going to be there. But it's a stability.
Yeah.
You're in one place for a longer period of time. And don't they now in some cases do to where the parents have to move?
I've done a few like that, and then we've regretted it in the back end because then it gives them more to bicker about. But other states have done some of that, yeah.
Well,
I think they should have to experience it, right? Like at least on a part-time basis.
Yeah, here's what you're doing to your kids. Now you get to do it. See why it sucks?
Absolutely.
So,
yep.
Don't move the kid like that. Figure out a way to make that work.
Yep.
And do that.
Did your parents ever do any co-parenting, like classes, counseling, anything like that?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. So that's my next question.
So now we had a GAL and everything, so I don't know the extent of because now that I'm older and I work here and I know what stuff is, I'm finding out more about it. No, I haven't looked up the divorce on MEC yet. I've been wanting to for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
But just like from talking with them and like they'll let something slip or like just give a little crumb of information.
Oh, now they're going to shelter you from it. You had to pick who you're going to live with, but now we're going to filter what
now
you know.
Yeah. So I know a little bit more about it.
Okay. So there's these parents going through, let's say that there are parents out there listening. They have joint physical custody. Their kids are going back and forth. If you could just like pick them up by the neck and put them against the wall, what would you tell them?
Just strangle them?
Yeah. What would you say that someone needs to tell them?
If you can't co-parent, learn how to. I know you're going to hate it, but it is what it is.
Right.
You create a situation.
You're an adult. It's not fun.
Yeah. Life sucks. Get over it. And
hey, life is beautiful. It does suck at parts.
Yeah. It's going to suck co-parenting, but you're going to figure out how to do it.
Right.
And
it sucks either way.
Yeah.
Like you're co-parenting regardless. You're either co-parenting well or you're co-parenting poorly. You're always co-parenting.
Yeah. And so, but as a parent, I assume, I don't have a kid, but you want the best, like what's best for your kid. So do it. Give them stability.
Yep.
In their own space.
All the things you pictured before you had children, all the parent you said you were going to be, do it. Yeah. And do you think, even if that means you have to give up time, like you have to kind of be the bigger person and say, I would love this time with my kid, but their stability is more important.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to Well, now you're co-parenting or the share. You share a kid with another person. You're gonna lose some time on some stuff.
Right.
I mean, that's what sharing is.
Right.
You don't
can't,
get you don't get all the time.
Nobody gets 100%.
No.
Yep.
So get over it.
Yeah, because that right as a parent, you tell your kids that all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's not fair. Get over it. Share. This is their turn. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
sharing is caring. Care for your kid. Share the kid and give the kid what it needs.
Look, we can learn a lot from kindergartners. Sharing is caring. So, and that like free dance is therapeutic. But anyway, so
I miss the nap times.
I do miss nap time.
Yeah.
And snack time, way underrated back then. Underrated now. So also the exchanges, even if they were civil, you felt the strain.
Well, yeah, like you're going from one parent to the other, showed up with one parent, left with the
Did
other.
it put you on eggshells? Like, if I act this way, if I act happy, if I act sad.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember.
Okay. Did you like at 9 get out of the car with a cigarette in your hand? Like, let's do this?
I know. Well, I know we had like custody changes, but I don't remember enough to figure out how it felt. Yeah. I don't remember how it felt. Okay. I just know it happened.
It was like an air of something around you, right?
Probably.
Okay. So then here's the worst question and the best question.
Of course it is.
Okay. So like, what would you tell 7-year-old Haylie? I'm going to borrow a Kleenex. You agreed.
I honestly don't know. But go with the flow. You can't change it. You're a kid. You have no control over anything.
So you would encourage her adaptability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no stability, and there's not going to be a situation like that.
Okay.
You're a kid, so it's literally nothing's your fault. It's not something you created. So
I think that's also a big one. In looking back now and being able to frame that from a person with wisdom and saying, if I could go back, I would tell 7-year-old Haylie, embrace the adaptability. Like, that's a skill you're going to need later in life. Can you...
Oh, and go to therapy, apparently.
You would? And go to therapy? And if they say you're depressed, just own it. That's okay.
Yeah, pop a pill.
No! That's not what we're advocating. We are advocating, however, confronting what is. And you may have been depressed. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That is, I wish... I mean, you were born significantly later than I was, but I wish somebody had known what depression was when I was 7 or 9 or 13.
Well, honestly, I don't think it's depression. Maybe just because of what I was telling her in the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe because I didn't feel depressed. I was like, lady, you're crazy.
But depression...
Which is probably what a depressed person would say. But I didn't feel like Debbie Downer all the time.
And that's not depression. And I think that makes sense, though. And that's why counseling is so important, because what I, as someone who had never known what depression was, might have thought was that I wasn't. A professional might have, theoretically, I don't know this person, been able to identify things you weren't able to. And, I realized it didn't maybe have the mark we hope counseling has on people, but it did have a mark. I mean, you recall it. You recall going and that you were at that point called depressed. But I think the thing of that is that depression isn't bad. Depression is, again, it's the way our body might respond to something. For me, it's something I had to accept is a part of me, not like the broken part, but just a part. Okay, so you would tell 7-year-old Haylie, roll with it. You're going to have no control. Enjoy the ride. It's going to suck. Find the good parts.
Yeah. And I think that's just my logical brain, though, because why try and control something that you can't control? You're just going to stress about it and freak yourself out.
Okay, but what?
Why stress and freak yourself out about something you can't control?
Absolutely agree. So what I would tell 7-year-old Haylie is that learning early in life that you can't control everything is something that a lot of adults don't learn ever. And I'm sorry you're having to learn it early. But if you could only see who it's going to make you in the future, you really would lean into it, because one day you're going to be so proud of who you've become. And you will come to a place where you are grateful for all the crap, because it really made you an amazing person. Okay? So I hope you carry that piece with you and understand that going backwards and deconstructing things that happen isn't bad. It is a way of processing, and again, picking the pieces that have value and learning how we can use them in the future. And I think you've done a really good job of that.
Thank you.
Thank you to our sponsor, Porter Law Group, for supporting these conversations. When family is on the line, experience matters. Porter Law Group specializes in custody and family law with compassion at every step. Visit porterlaw.ms now to schedule your consultation to protect what matters most.